welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is December 19, 2023, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, this time it's the tech stocks that are leading the markets higher. But first, looking at today's major economic events. So tentatively today, without a specific time frame, out of Japan, we have a monetary policy statement coming out. And later today at 3:30 South African time, out of Canada, CPI-Core price index number coming out. Now looking at the various markets, the Japanese yen is on a threshold. But first, looking at the indices, the Dow Jones remains unchanged, but the NASDAQ, which represents the tech stocks, pushes higher. Now looking at commodities, gold and oil remained unchanged. And as we look at the stocks, specifically, it's Amazon and Meta that push the markets higher. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin trickling lower. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Japanese yen. Okay, so we're starting out on a weekly chart. Now you see that there's a balance. Okay, it's still way below its 8-day moving average, which is the blue line. Okay, so it is technically still retracing it, but it did get a weekly green tick. Okay, which it hasn't had since it came down from 151. Okay, so that is one major aspect to it. Now, secondly, if we look at a daily chart, it did bounce off of the 200-day moving average, which is the black line. However, it's just testing the 30-day moving average, the 8-day moving average, which is where we are right now. Okay, and that crossover still happened. Look at when that crossover happened, when the 8-day moving average broke below the 30-day moving average, and that was your key to take it down. Now we're still in a downwards momentum. Okay, you could use the 8-day moving average as a resistance-ish level, so keep that in mind. Okay, just because we're bouncing just a little bit above it doesn't mean that we're yet strong. Now looking at a 4-hour chart, okay, you can still see that quite clearly. If the blue line is the 30-day moving average and we just pushed above it, it is important, but yet again, just keep in mind that as long as we're not sustaining it for a longer period of time, it may still head downwards. Okay, so that's still on the table. Now looking at the Euro USD, not doing much. Okay, we're in the twilight zone here. We're not testing our highs, we're not pushing lower, okay, but we may see it break down. So just keep it on the watch, or at least for now, it may develop into something. Now looking at the commodities, I'm going to skip gold because it hasn't really changed, but oil, take a look at this. Yesterday we had a spike, and this is really a news play. Okay, you could see that spike. We went from $71 up to $74 because BP came out saying they're not going to start going through the Red Sea because of what's going on in the Middle East. And that's that. Okay. Now the markets digested it. It didn't mean much long term because the markets are much greater than that part of the world, just in terms of deliveries right there. Okay. There's many ways you can circumvent it, and it's going to be handled. Okay. So with that said, we're at $72 a barrel. We're just where we are yesterday. And so this was a beautiful fade opportunity. Now looking at the US markets. Okay. So we are now looking at the Dow Jones. Hasn't changed much. Okay, it's only about 50 points from its all-time highs, so it's pretty much unchanged. But the NASDAQ pushing higher to 16,932. Will we get that 17,000 later today? That's a question. Okay, that's a major threshold for the NASDAQ. Now, what's pushing it higher? Amazon. This is the time of the year that Amazon makes bank of money. Okay, this is where they're really just printing money. It's not even banking money. 154 all-time highs for Amazon for the year. Okay, and considering, if we take into consideration what the all-time high is, we'll have to really adjust it. But right now we're making all-time highs for 2023, so that's really important. Now looking at the other stock that pushed us higher was Facebook, which is really Meta. Also all-time highs for the year, 344. That was a big comeback, okay, from 316 up to 344. That is truly a big comeback. If we look at a weekly chart, we're just shy of it. Now the other stock I want to show you is JP Morgan, okay, which has been on a tear on the upside, and it's just about $6 away from its all-time record highs. So this is coming back, okay. Now even ALCOA made a huge turn on the upside over the past day or so, okay, as that has broken that downwards momentum And that's really big, okay, because ALCOA is, you remember, the stock markets are 6 months out. So this really means that things are settling down, at least in the market, and there's some optimism, at least for now. Now, what does that mean in the next 2-3 months? We have yet to see it actually fruit, but this is when, like it's just harvesting. Okay, look at it like the markets are just harvesting themselves. The fruits might not come out for another 6-8 months, but the markets know and they expect it. So that's why these stocks are going up. Now, lastly, let's take a look at cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. Now, it did taper off yesterday and now bouncing in this morning. Not anything big, 43,000. It's still in that range. Let's see if it'll push higher towards the end of the year. We could still get a rally, so that's something to look forward to. This is the Fed Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.